So I am making this video today to talk about a recent Mac BIDS purchase experience that I have had. I was on there not too long ago and they had, I don't know, probably like close to 15 or so of these battery jump packs on there that people were bidding on. And I picked up, I think like 2 or 3 of them. I think I spent, don't quote me, but I think it was around like $20 each, which for a good working jump pack, like that's a pretty decent price. And I picked up my items, and granted this has actually been a few months ago that I made these purchases, and whenever I brought them home I noticed that something was going on with the buttons. Like they just weren't lining up and it just looked off. And I tried to go ahead and just charge it anyway, so I'd give it a test run, and I noticed the charge port, I couldn't see the charge port, so I just got frustrated and I kind of just set them aside. And they've just been collecting dust. Well, I'm cleaning out my basement today, and I figured that I needed to make the decision finally today as to whether or not I just need to junk these things, or if they're actually worth messing with. So I decided to go ahead and take this first one apart so I could figure out what was going on. I did notice that it seemed a little bit light, so I figured that, hey, maybe somebody possibly pulled a scam and took the batteries out of these jump packs and then did a return or whatever. But I wanted to get down to the bottom of what was going on. So I started pulling screws to figure out what was going on. And the first thing I noticed was that it was missing some screws, and it had different screws in different locations. So I pulled off the compressor portion of it, and first thing I noticed is the wires going to that were cut, but otherwise everything looked fine. But I did notice that I could see a plastic bag through one of these ports in the back, and that was a giant red flag of what the heck is going on. So I got all the screws out and I popped the cover off. And the next thing I noticed is there's a bunch of plastic bags stuffed in the back of this thing. The LED light just fell right out and its wires were cut. So I'm like, what the heck's going on? So then I pulled the bags out of the way to find that there's just a red brick in here. There's absolutely no electronics. The circuit board for the battery charger is completely gone. The battery is completely gone. The buttons are misaligned because somebody just popped them off and used black duct tape to try and duct tape them into the correct position so that it would look right. I did not purchase any kind of warranty on this, and Mac BIDS suggests that you go into their warehouse and you inspect items before you purchase them. But there's no way that an inspection would have shown what exactly was going on here. I wouldn't have been able to show that all of the electronics are stripped out of this thing if there's just a red brick inside. So all in all, the summary of this video is be extremely cautious as to what you buy from Mac BIDS, because you might end up with a red brick instead of the item that you thought you were purchasing. I might be able to salvage something out of this as far as the battery compressor, and I get a couple of battery terminal clips, but otherwise this was like $20 down the hole. So yeah, I got. Y'all have a good day.